Hello. Hi. It's really nice to see a lot of familiar faces today. So first off, I want to thank Yola and the parents and the students for giving me the opportunity to come up here to speak to you today and possibly give a little bit of advice before you guys head off to your new journey and go to college in the US. So over the past 23 years, my life has taken a lot of very unexpected turns, some of which I would never have dreamt of. So when I was 1 year old, I would go to Nyabang and stand there for hours. I would just stand and look at the dancers in awe, look at these older dancers who would just dance, and I was one of them. I've always really wanted to dance, but I've never really had the opportunity to do so until high school. So when high school came along and there was a teacher at school, I started taking a lot of lessons, I started performing, I started choreographing, and started dancing in performances around Hanoi. I love dancing because it makes me feel like I'm a different person. Usually I'm very shy, but whenever I dance, I become a very, very different person. I become so much more confident, I make a lot more friends, and most importantly, I feel like I can be a person, like I can think using movement and not just using my head. This passion of mine grew even stronger in college. On top of the full-time course load, I was dancing 4 hours every single day, and I was commuting to New York City to take private lessons from one of the most prestigious coaches in the world. If you think about it, going from Boston to New York is like going from Ho Chi Minh City to Phang Thi. Think of doing that for 1 day to every other week. So I did that for years, and to me it wasn't anything peculiar. It wasn't odd that I was spending so much time dancing. It wasn't odd that I was spending 20 hours working in the library to pay for that one lesson. To me, I did it because I love to dance. It wasn't odd that I spent that much time dancing, because even though I was studying science. So I was doing neuroscience at Harvard, and I had a minor in psychology. And initially, when you think about it, science and dance are very different things. But to me, I feel like doing both of them concurrently complement each other intellectually, physically, and emotionally. Throughout my life, I've always followed my heart. I've always done what made me really happy, despite the numerous difficulties that occurred along the way. I followed my heart because of a desire to dance, and not a desire to gain money or to gain fame. I danced because I loved it and because it made me happy. When I was in 5th grade, my teacher used to ask me, can you write an essay? Like, talking about what you want to be in the future. So the little naive Trang, who had never taken a single dance class, wrote about her dream of becoming a ballerina. Little did that little girl know that later on she would have the opportunity to dance on Dancing with the Stars in Vietnam as a guest performer, to dance in one of Siu Black's live shows, to be in one of the movies called Ending, that was in theaters 2 years ago, and to now own her own company selling dance sport dresses to people in the US and Canada and Europe. Oftentimes in life, you become successful when you do things that you love, and that might initially seem very erratic, even stupid. If you play by the book, you will never be great. If you do what you're supposed to do, you will never stand out. So 2 extreme examples of this are people who went to my college but decided to drop out after 2 years there. So one of them is Mark Zuckerberg, who dropped out of Harvard 2 years to find Facebook, and Bill Gates, who dropped out of Harvard after 3 years to find What is it? Microsoft. So both of them are prime examples of people who decided to go off the beaten path and to follow their dreams. I have to wonder how many Bill Gates and Zuckerbergs are there sitting out there who will never become a Bill Gates or a Zuckerberg because you think you have to do what you're supposed to do and what other people expect you to do. However, parents don't worry, I'm not advocating your children to become a Zuckerberg or a Bill Gates and quit school. As Vietnamese students, we have to follow very different rules. If we decide to drop out of school and open our own company, we're going to get deported and have to leave the country and go back to Vietnam. And for Vietnamese people, what is really important to us is our families. Our families have invested so much to give us the opportunity to study abroad that we owe them and not stray too much away from the beaten path. Maybe just a little bit. So pursue your dreams and at the same time fulfill your obligations towards your family, even if at times it may seem a little contradictory. I would not have had the opportunities I have today and become the person I am today had not pursued my passion for dance. I encourage you all to continue to pursue your passions and to continue to succeed academically. Even though it might not make sense right now, like how is dance related to science or how is physics related to law, if you listen to your heart and let your inner voice guide you, you will eventually become the best possible person you could ever be. Thank you.